Okay, Assalamualaikum, very good evening everyone. Today we come to this meeting to do a negotiation because of the problem that caused in the town of Toshiba. As we all know, the problem is getting worse day by day. So, do you mind introducing yourself one more time? And we'll start with you, sir.
With pleasure. I am Mazen Al-Qadi, the representative of Finance Ministry.
Okay.
Okay.
And you, sir.
Okay, my name is Song Zhudong, and I'm the representative of the factory community.
And you, sir.
Okay, I am Muhammad Firdaus bin Mahdi. I am from the representative from the workers, that are head of the workers society. Thank you.
And then, for your all information, my name is Muhammad Shafiq Izzuddin. I'm from the Prime Minister Department, and I will be conducting this meeting, and I will be leading the negotiation so that we can find the best solution to overcome the problem in the town of Toshiba. Okay, as we all know, the problem is the environment and the health problem. So I think I'll start with Mr. Firdaus. You are the head of Workers' Society, right? Okay, tell me your problem.
Okay, I'm the represent the workers, the head of the workers society. We are the workers have demand that something have to be done in immediately to solve this dangerous situation in town Toshiba, because all the air and water pollution in that area will cause us will harmful will give harm to our health, and that's all.
And you also mentioned before that there's something about the environment, something like that?
Yes, many of our workers have transpiration problems. For the statistic, 23% of the workers have a lung diseases, and 35% of the workers' children have a breathing problem. Uh, as for your information, the infant death rate is 25%, and the birth defect is so frequently.
So you're telling me that this problem is affecting a lot to the workers,
Yes.
especially their health and their life.
Yes.
So I'll go to you, Mr. Song, the head of the factories. You should know more about this problem because it's your factory. So tell me.
Yes. First, it's an honor to be here to discuss this problem. This problem, I think, is not start from today, but instead, our factories already settled our roots in this valley for around 30 years ago. And for your information, in this town, I think almost half of the males is working for our factories. And the main function of our factories, we have oil refineries and fertilizer manufacturers and other companies. And most of these 25 factories are the vital financial support to this country. But recently, there's an environment problem that has been discovered in this valley. Uh, there are environment problems for the water pollution and the air pollution. And because of the special geological structures in this valley, this valley is surrounded by mountains, so that all the all the winds cannot blow the pollution to some other places. The pollution remains in this valley, sediment in this soils, so they cause some disease. Thank you, Mr. Shafi.
So you're telling me the problem is due to the geological structure of the place.
Yes.
And the wind cannot blow the pollution away because of the mountains.
Yes, exactly.
So thank you, Mr. Song. Mr. Mazen, you are representative from the Ministry of Finance. What do you know about this problem? Can you share with us, please?
Yes. What I know so far about this problem, and as our colleagues here mentioned, is that this area is located in has a very good location, and that's why there is 25 factories in that area, as well as this area is surrounding, as Mr. Song said, by mountains. So the air and waste of this factories cannot be removed easily, and the wind cannot blow the polluted air out of this area. I think, in my opinion, this one is very serious problem, especially for government has to find solution. And in my point of view, the companies has to find solution for this problem, since they are causing it and getting profit of this factories. So it is their problem, and I called for this meeting, so the workers and the companies find solution, mid solution, will satisfy
The best solution.
both.
You mentioned about good area. This place is a good area. What do you mean by a good area? What's so special about this place until it have 25 factories?
The location is that area is very good in the
Technical structures, okay.
as well as it is rich with raw materials. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mazen. So, we all heard about the problems from all point of views, from the government, factories, and the workers. So, Mr. Mazen, you are from the government. You're representing the Ministry of Finance. You also called for this meeting. Give me your point of view about this problem.
As we talk,
Yes.
the workers are suffering from health and environmental problem in their area. They have the right to ask for the solution, and as well as for the government has to find solution for its regulation, right?
Right.
Yes. So I called for this meeting in order that the companies has to find solution for the workers and satisfy their demands.
Okay.
In my point of view, the companies must provide new equipment, so the pollution will be reduced, as well as treating the current pollution in the area.
So you are telling me your point of view is this is all the factory's responsibility.
Absolutely.
It is their fault. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mazen. Mr. Song, you heard Mr. Mazen from the Ministry of Finance. Do you agree with him?
I'm afraid I have to say I disagree with him, because our factory is already settled in this valley for 30 years, and this problem is not the one-day problem to solve. But recently, the economical problem is that the world is suffering from a recession. So does our factories. Our factories, due to this financial problem, we cannot afford to buy some new equipment to treat this pollutions. So I think it may be better for the workers to move far away from this valley, maybe in a nearby town which name is Suzuki. In this town, there are many new built accommodations buildings, and in that town, because it's not surrounded by the mountains, so in the air and the water there is much more better in this valley. Thank you, Mr. Shafi.
So you mentioned something about workers moving away from that place, right?
Yes.
Have you ordered the workers to move away before?
Yes, I ordered them before,
Okay.
but some of them, they refuse to move.
They disagree with you.
Yes.
They refuse to move.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Firdaus, you heard what Mr. Song. He said some of the workers refuse to move away.
Yes.
Okay. So what's wrong? Tell me.
It's true that Mr. Song asked the workers to move to the less polluted area.
Okay.
You know, the Suzuki town. Okay. It's fine for the workers to live in Suzuki town, but if they live far from the factory they work, they cannot afford the transportation costs, their daily transportation costs, because they do not have enough money to afford the transportation costs and the cost for them to move away from the town. As you know, you said that there are many accommodation at the Suzuki town. It's true, but it is very difficult to find a low cost apartment for them, to find a suitable one. Therefore, they have to refuse to move away from the Toshiba town. That's all.
So you're telling me the workers refuse to move away due to the transportation problem and the accommodation problem.
Accommodation
Am
problem.
I right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as we all know, here we are gathered in this meeting to find a solution. We are negotiating solution. Exactly. We must find the best solution for this problem. That's why we have this negotiation. So I think I'll start with the government. Mr. Mazen, Ministry of Finance, what do you think the best solution for this problem?
Because the government are caring about its population,
Yes.
as well as we cannot reduce the number of factories or stop the factories function, since they are very useful in this economical crisis.
They are vital to the country economy.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Therefore, I suggest the company, the factories, to provide, since the workers are having problem with transportation and accommodation, the company, the factories must provide them with the transportation as well as the cost of accommodation. Apart from that, not to forget, the companies also has to deal with the current environmental problem.
The pollution.
Yeah, the pollution. The pollution is very serious problem, and the trees and animals also start dying. So I think the companies should take over.
Yeah, so you are telling me that the solution is the company must improve the facilities, something like that.
Yeah, they should improve the facilities for so that the environment will be maintained and
Pollution can be
reduced, and for the workers' health, because they are suffering, the company should provide them the accommodation and transportation to the new town.
Okay.
Suzuki town.
Thank you, Mr. Mazen. Mr. Song,
Yes.
the government suggests that the factories must buy new facilities to improve the equipment that the factory have now, and then so that the pollution can be reduced. And the government also suggests that you take care of your workers. That means you provide transportation, if I'm not mistaken. You said that provide transportation, Mr. Mazen?
The companies should provide the workers with transportation.
So that they can move away from the town of Toshiba. So, Mr. Song, do you think that's the best solution, or do you have your own ideas of the best solution? Tell me.
Okay, I don't think it's a good idea for us to take all these responsibilities, because first, due to the, as I told before, due to the recession, all the oil refineries and fertilizer manufacturers has been almost broke down because of this recession. We are lack of economic strength to do that. And secondly, the government in this country charge our tax a lot because we are high profit company, so they charge us a lot. But due to this recession, we don't have any profit. We almost lost our profit in some stage. So for the tax, we don't satisfied with that one. And from the worker side, it is good to provide the transportation for the workers, and we really concerned about the workers as well. But the problem is that Toshiba Town and Suzuki Town is part of the society, and it should be taken care by the government, especially due to the public transportation part. So I think for the government should also provide the public transportation between these two towns. It's also good for the workers. And from the worker side, because they want to have better accommodations which we invest in the Suzuki town. They can get the accommodation rate with a lower rate, but as an exchange, we have to cut down their wage to maintain the profit. That's my point, Mr. Shafi.
Okay, thank you. So, you're telling me you are not agree with the government that you should pay by yourself to improve the facilities.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
And you also mentioned that the workers should be taken care by the government by providing them public transportation from
Yes.
the Toshiba town to the Suzuki town.
Yes, I think it's part of the society responsibility.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Song. So, Mr. Firdaus, you are the head of the worker societies.
Yes.
What are your ideas for the best solution to this problem?
Okay, thank you. Because, I agree with Mr. Mazen, because he want the transportation cost is dealing with Mr. Song, the factories company. And I also suggest that
Okay.
the government will pay half for the transportation cost and accommodation, but for the accommodation stuff, they have to improve it from time to time. Not all the accommodation they will deal with it. Just the accommodation for the workers, they have to improve it, the infrastructure and the accommodation from time to time. Just and for the transportation, it also can be deal with the factories to improve the for the cost of transportation workers.
Thank you, Mr. Firdaus. So, you're saying that your best solution is for the government to improve the accommodation from time to time.
Yes.
And then the factories provide us with public transportation.
Yes,
for the
better
workers. Better than you have now.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we need to find the solution now. We need to accept. We need to negotiate until we find the best solution. Everyone must sacrifice something and give something, so that this negotiation can be a success and the problem can be overcome. So, Mr. Mazen, best solution now. This is the time. What do you think the best solution is? Mr. Song mentioned before that he doesn't want to pay all the finances to improve the factories and everything. He doesn't want to pay it by himself. He doesn't want the factories to take all the responsibilities. What are the government are willing to offer in this agreement?
I can't offer anything big. However, in helping this conflict to be solved and the situation to be overcome, the government are willing to reduce the tax, since the company is complaining about high tax.
Okay.
And they are experiencing recession. Recession.
Yes.
So the government are willing to reduce the tax for this period of time.
Yes.
Until this recession.
Yes.
Recession is over.
Okay.
And in condition that the company deal with the environmental problem and satisfy the workers by every mean. What I mean is that they provide the workers with transport and accommodation.
Okay.
The government
Yes.
are not part of this problem.
Okay.
But we are helping to find
The
solution.
Good. So, Mr. Song, you heard the government. The government said here they are only willing to reduce the tax to the factories only for the period of time until the recession is over. Do you accept the term? They are only willing to reduce the tax.
This term can be considered, but under several conditions. The first one is only reducing the tax is not enough for our of our factories. But also we have to use the the environment purified device
Device.
is not a profit device. This kind of device cannot make profit for our factories. Because of this reason, we cannot pay for this device all by ourselves because it is very expensive and there are highly maintenance phase in this device. And of course, we concern about our workers, especially our families and our managers' families. They all live in this town also. They also facing this environmental problem. So in this condition, we are willing to pay 50% of the device fee, the device cost, and plus, because the environment already been damaged, so to reprotect this environment, I think it's better for us to share the cost to change to improve our environment with the government together. I think as a factory representative, we cannot stand in this problem alone. We should fight with the problem with the government. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Shafi.
Okay, now, so I'll summarize what you just said. You not only agree with the government reducing the tax, but you are also asking the government to pay at least half of the improvement that you're going to make to the factories.
Exactly.
By such as buying the environment device, something you mentioned just now.
And also the maintenance fee.
And also the maintenance fees.
Yes.
So it's like you are willing to pay 50% and the government is 50%.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes, exactly.
So, Mr. Mazen, come back to you again. The factories has given you an offer that he said that the government must uh, help at least 50% of the finance of the budget of improving the environment problem. Do you accept this term?
I am afraid I cannot take that over because we have economical problem in the country and we have recession problem, financial problem. However, we cannot take over or participate in this in the payment 50-50. So we are willing to pay only 20% of the cost, and the company should, as they mentioned, they will cut off the wage of the workers. So they can consider that one as the 30%, other 30%.
Okay. Mr. Song, you heard the government. You heard Mr. Mazen. He said he is willing to reduce the tax. You're still willing to reduce the tax.
Yes.
And he is not willing to pay 50% of the budget. He is only willing to pay 20%. And he said that by cutting the workers' wages, it will cover the 30% that he didn't pay. Do you accept the term?
Before I accept this term, I have to ask from the workers' representative how about their ideas about cutting their wage, because to cut their wage is not our objective. We don't want to cut their wage. That will deduct their active in the work. So I want to ask them first.
So,
about this question.
Mr. Firdaus, now uh, the situation is your wages, the workers' wages will be cut down in order for the factories to improve the facilities. And in order, by improving the facilities, they can promise that the environment pollution can be reduced and it will also reduce the health effects on the workers. So are you willing to accept the terms of cutting the workers' wage?
Okay, first, what you say is cutting our wage down. I think first is a problem for me, for the workers also, because cutting our wages down is can affect our transportation costs, living costs, and all the costs in living in the Toshiba town. However, I agree to if our wages is cutting down, but with several conditions.
Yes, please
Okay.
tell me your conditions.
First, I promise that the this pollution, this situation, they will not happen again.
Okay.
And second one, the government or companies will provide us with better transportation if we have to move away or what. We have to find another rented apartment. And third one, we have a better accommodation or also infrastructure for our workers. That's all.
Okay, Mr. Song, you heard
Yes.
from the workers. I can assume that all the workers' point of view now, because this is Mr. Firdaus. He is representing all the workers. He said that he will take the wages cut. He will agree to cut down their wages. In order that you must promise that the pollution will not happen, and then he also mentioned that if they move away from the town of Toshiba, they must be provided with better transportation, and they must be provided the transportation to work every day. And they also uh, mentioned that they want a better accommodation in the new town, better than they have in Toshiba town. So what do you say? What do you think about that?
I think I can accept the offer from Mr. Firdaus,
Yes.
but in several conditions, of course.
Okay.
To accept this offer, the first thing is that we can provide the transportations from the Suzuki town to the Toshiba town, but only for 3 to 5 years only.
Okay.
After 5 years, the government should build up their own public transportation service. So the workers should be able to take the public transportation service rather than our own company bus. That's the first one. The second one is that to provide a better accommodations, I think the government should be more involved in this problem, because as we know that government should be responsible for developing a new town, and in that Suzuki town, government should be responsible for developing the new facilities for the schools, for the infrastructures, even for the kindergartens and hospitals, of course, so that our worker can be well taken care. Only in these several conditions I can accept Mr. Fidel's offer.
Okay, now we must come to the conclusion. We must we must accept and conclude this negotiation. So I'll go back to you, Mr. Mazen, from the government. Now, they are offering you that the government must provide public transportation for the workers to the factories in 3 to 5 years in time, not in the time being. And then they also mentioned that they want better accommodation for the workers in the new town of Suzuki. That's also in 3 to 5 years in time, not on the spot, not in the time being. And then back to your offer, you still will offer 20% of the weight of the budget to improve the facilities in the factories. And then you are also willing to reduce tax. Okay, do you still are you agreeing with this agreement?
Uh, I agree in the condition that
Okay.
what I understand is that we will have a deal
Okay.
if the companies will take care of the
Workers.
will promise and guarantee us and
Okay.
writing guarantee that this environmental problem will take care of and will be like permanent take care of.
Uh-huh.
This is one.
Mm-hmm.
The second condition is that they provide new and good equipment to reduce the pollution and air pollution from now on. The third one, as the company, the manufacturer representative said that they are demanding the government to provide transportation for the next after the 3 years from now. In fact, I have no problem with that condition at all. In fact, we are now planning and construction the infrastructure and from Toshiba town to Suzuki. In 3 years time, the public transportation will be ready, as well as the other public facilities such as school and hospitals.
Okay.
So I think if that is the deal, if that's the condition, I think we have a deal.
I think you have that. So, Mr. Song,
Yes.
you heard about the government.
Yes.
He said he will agree with his terms, with your terms and the workers' terms. In return, that the factories must promise that this environment issue will be reduced permanently. Am I correct, Mr. Mazen? And then they must take care of the workers. So, Mr. Song, your part of the deal is 80% of the budget will come from your factories to improve the facilities, and then, but in return, the government will reduce the tax, and you will also provide transportation for the workers from the new town, Suzuki. Do you agree these terms?
Yeah, I agree with these terms. Uh, I want to clarify a little bit about this 80%. The 80% include the maintenance phase and the new device phase, and also the purify the current environment damage phase. That's all. After that, I can accept Ms. Mazen's offer and the deal with Mr. Firdaus.
But as a clarification as
Okay.
well, so 80% is not including the wages
Yeah.
of the people. So the company will take, after considering the wage, I think the company will be responsible only about 50% of the cost.
Okay. Because the wages, the cut down of the wages will cover almost half of the 80%, something like 50%. Okay. So, Mr. Firdaus, are you willing to move away now, and then get your wages cut down, but when in return you will get better transportation and better accommodation in the future, and also the government also improving the new Suzuki town. So do you accept the terms?
Yes, I will accept the term and deal with it because I'm agree for all the terms from the government and the factories, because although our wages is cut down, but they provide us with better public transportation for 3 to 5 years, and
Okay.
also the better accommodation for us in Suzuki town. I
Okay.
deal with it.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Firdaus. So now I think we have come to conclusion, and we have come to the end of our negotiation. And then I'll repeat one more time the terms, and then I will ask you again if you agree or not. Mr. Mazen, you're from the Ministry of Finance. You agree to pay 20% of the facilities to improve the factories, equipment, everything, so that the environment can be reduced. Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
And then you are also willing to reduce the tax to the factories until the registration is over. Am I correct? And then you also promise that you will provide public transportation and better accommodation and infrastructures in the new Suzuki town where the workers will live in 3 to 5 years. Exactly. So thank you, Mr. Mazen. Mr. Song,
Yes.
from the factories representative, the head of factories, you have promised to pay the 80% of the budget to improve your factory's facilities. Am I correct?
Yes.
And in order to do that, you will cut down your workers' budget.
Yes.
And you are also willing to provide transportation for the workers until the public transportation is provided by the government.
Yes. Exactly.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And Mr. Firdaus, you are willing to move away and get your wages cut down, all the workers.
Yes.
But in order they will provide you with transportation.
Yes.
And then in 3 to 5 years, the government will provide you public transportation and better accommodation.
Yes, I agree with that.
So I think we have a conclusion now. We have a best solution, and we have come to the end of our negotiation.
Yes.
I think this is our agreement. You all know your terms and agreement now. So I would like to thank you all for coming to this meeting and making this negotiation successful. And again, my name is Muhammad Shafi Izzuddin, and you is
Mazen Abdul Hamid Al-Qadi
Mazen Al-Khadi,
My name is Song Dong.
Song Zudong.
and Muhammad Firdaus bin Mahdi.
And we would like to say thank you all and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.